Hi there, it's Kalymnios from the Thought Gym here, and in today's yoga class we're going to be looking at our hamstrings. So let's get started straight away. You may need a strap if you have one, something like this, or a belt if you have, or a towel. If not, it's fine, you don't really have to use one. If you have one, that's great though. We're going to start in downward dog, so we'll start from tabletop position to come into our downward dog. Fingertips or fingers nice and spread, shoulders, elbows, wrists all in a line. Knees will be roughly underneath the hips, or you may need to adjust it when you come back up into your downward dog. So downward dog, inverted V, remembering that's the shape we're looking for. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, draw the chest towards the hips and towards the thighs. Start elevating the hips towards the back of the room as you bring your ears between your elbows, and maybe start adjusting your feet, maybe adjust your hands slightly. Keep a nice bent leg downward dog here. Hips are driving up towards the top of the corner of your room, and the heels are drawing towards the ground. Even if they don't reach, it doesn't matter. Palms are pressing down, backs of the knuckles are taking a lot of the weight, back of the hands or the wrists are not. And then just slowly walking on the spot, alternating one knee and then the other as you start to warm up a little bit. Good. From here, elevate the right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. So I hit the door. And draw that knee towards the chest and place the foot between the hands, helping it if you need to with your hand. Lower the back knee, the left knee towards the ground. So we're in this long lunge position. And rock forwards and backwards here. Now if your knee requires it, you can turn your mat halfway and fold it over so that you can create a little bit more cushioning. But we're just going to be rocking forwards and backwards for now. And then after you've done that a few times, you're going to straighten that right leg, draw the foot up, or the toes towards the shin, and draw the right hip back as you bring the chest towards the thigh. So hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then again, rock forwards and backwards. Maybe a little bit more length now when you straighten the leg. Another 3 or 4 times of the rocking before taking that extended straight leg here. So the heel is on the ground, toes are pointing towards the shin, chest is coming towards the thigh. Excuse me, today my voice is going all funny. And then drawing that hip down. Good, and then placing the hands either side of the front foot, elevate the back knee, step the right leg back, downward facing dog, and again another little pedal through the feet, and then hold in a static downward dog here. As you draw the hips up towards the sky, each exhale draws the chest towards the thighs, pressing through the backs of the knuckles, fingers nice and spread, index finger or middle finger pointing forwards. Heels, the energy is drawing towards the ground, even if it doesn't hit the ground. Good. And then from here, elevate the left leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. As you step that left leg through between the hands, right knee comes towards the ground. Left knee is over left ankle, and we just rock forwards and backwards a few times, gradually getting a little bit more distance as we come back here. And then we start to straighten that left leg, lift the left toes, draw them towards the shin, draw the left hip back, the chest down towards the thigh as we breathe in and breathe out. Holding it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then again, rocking forwards and backwards a few times here. So hamstrings can get particularly tight with all the sitting that we do, the walking, the cycling, and we come back, extend that left leg, draw the left toes towards the shin, the whole foot towards the shin, the left hip draws back, the chest towards the thigh. Now everyone is cycling, of course. That's going to create tight hamstrings as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back, lift the back knee, step the left foot back, downward facing dog, having another little pedal through the feet here, and then holding a static downward dog. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. And then from downward dog, stay in downward dog, but just start inching those toes towards the back of the hands as you start making your way up towards the front of the mat, taking a forward fold here. So if you're particularly tight, you're going to want to have a slight bend in the knees and your feet hip width apart. If you're a little bit more loose in the hips and in the hamstrings, you can have your feet together and you can work to straighten your leg. You can do that piecemeal by bending one knee and then the other, almost like you're walking on the spot, keeping the heels on the ground. And then once you're ready there, you can start to straighten both legs and allow the forward fold to come here, taking a ragdoll position, allowing yourself to be nice and loose, and just experiment with shifting the weight forwards onto the toes, back onto the heels, over to the right, over to the left. Just start to explore your body, have a bit of self-inquiry. This is what yoga is all about, self-inquiry. And holding it there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bending the knees, rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Arms come on over the head on the inhale, and then exhale as you fold back down. Soft knees coming all the way down to our forward fold. Hands come either side of the feet. Step the right leg back, and then the left leg back, coming into downward facing dog. Again, if you need to, you can have a little pedal. Otherwise, come into a static downward dog. From here, inhale, right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale as you step it through between the hands, coming into our long lunge. This time we're going to keep the left knee raised if you wish. And we're going to do the same thing. Rock forwards and backwards, starting to lengthen through that right leg. And then we're going to hold it in our pyramid pose. Now here, you may not touch the ground. So in which case, either have more of a bend in your knee and just work it straight, or bring a couple of books underneath your hands and you can do it that way instead. Okay, but otherwise you're going to bring pyramid pose. So you're drawing that right hip back, straightening that right leg, drawing the left heel down towards the ground and lifting the right foot and the right toes while keeping the heel on the ground, and you're bringing the foot towards the shin. At the same time, you're releasing the chest down towards the thigh. Drawing that left hip forward and the right hip back to square off the hips. Holding it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then back into our long lunge, okay? So just rock forwards and backwards one more time, releasing. And then we're going to take that one more time in that position with this leg. As we extend the right leg, draw the right hip back, the left hip forward, the foot comes off the ground, the heel roots down towards the ground, right toes towards the right shin, left heel down if you can, chest towards the thigh or the knee, holding it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back into our long lunge, step back into our downward dog. Just have a little pedal through the feet here, drawing that chest down towards the thighs, hips up towards the sky, and then inhale the left leg up towards the sky, and then release it between the hands, coming into our long lunge. As we rock forwards and backwards, a few times in our long lunge. Obviously you've got the option to release the right knee towards the ground if you want to do it just like we did before. Otherwise, start to straighten that left leg, draw the right heel down, the left foot, the toes come up towards the shin, left hip comes back, right hip forward. As you take a forward fold here, drawing the chest towards the thigh, left toes towards the left shin, holding it there. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Coming back into our long lunge, again rocking forwards and backwards a few times, just releasing that hamstring. And then we start to slowly get longer and longer in the leg, and then eventually we draw the hip all the way back, the right hip forward, the left toes come off the ground, right heel moves towards the ground. Take pyramid pose on this side. Hold in there for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. And then coming back into our long lunge, step the left leg back, downward facing dog. Okay, again, of course, downward dog is one of the best hamstring stretches anyway. And we're drawing that hip up towards the sky, tucking the pelvis under, drawing the heels down towards the ground, holding it there. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Then again, just like before, we're going to inch our feet towards the front of the mat, coming into our ragdoll position. And again, maybe this time if you had your feet apart, you can keep them together. And we're just going to release down towards the ground. Okay, and then from here, we're going to put our left hand down towards the ground, bend into our left knee, straighten our right leg, and take a gentle twist as we take the right hand up towards the sky or to our lower back if we wish. Taking a bit of a twist here, you'll feel something towards the top of the hamstring, maybe into the glute. It's all connected. Taking the twist here. And then releasing the right hand, bending into the right leg, and then straightening the left leg as you take the left hand up towards the sky. Good. Again, you can have the hand on the lower back if that's preferable. And then releasing both hands towards the ground. Good. And then roll up vertebra by vertebra, bending the knees, arms coming over the head, and releasing the hands by the side, coming into Tadasana. Stepping the right leg out, or whatever leg is going to be allowing you to face me and see the video. And have your feet around a couple of feet apart, maybe 3 feet apart, just underneath where your wrists would be if you extended your arms out. And we're going to come into a forward fold. So ankles, knees, hips all in a line. And then releasing, hands on the hips, coming into a gentle forward fold here. Now this might be quite strong at this position, you may need to slightly bend your knees. Otherwise, if you can with straight legs, come all the way down and bring the hands behind you as if you're trying to reach behind you to whatever is behind your body. And releasing the crown of the head towards the ground, holding it here. Taking a nice forward fold, maybe experiment with putting the weight onto the toes a little bit more than the back of the heels and see what that does. And then experiment with coming back onto the heels and then finding a nice place in between those two to just relax. Yeah. And we're going to come into Skandasana, so we're going to bring our hands back to our hips. And then we're going to slowly bend the knees, roll up to standing, keeping the feet where they are. Turn the left toes out and the right toes out slightly. And we're going to bend into the right leg, coming onto the heel of the left foot, taking Skandasana here. So you may get just as far as where I am right now, or you may be able to come down a little bit more. Try and keep the right heel on the ground. If it's raised, don't worry too much. We're looking at the extended leg really in this position here. So just having a look to see what feeling you've got here in that left leg, as well as obviously the right hip. Now you can support yourself with ham and hands in front like this, or the hands behind, or maybe you don't need the hands at all to support you and you can come into a prayer position, or the left hand can come down out inside of the thigh and you can take the right hand up towards the sky. Totally your choice here. Whatever you're doing, we're going to slowly transition over to the other side. So taking it over to the left foot if you're doing the same sides as me, and then extending the right toes up, and again supporting yourself here wherever is comfortable with your hands. Especially important if you've got any knee issues, hip issues, anything like that, that you're comfortable in these poses. Now you may feel a stretch somewhere along that straightened leg, which is good. You may feel it in somewhere else as well. Good. And then coming back into the center here, and then taking one more forward fold, so bringing the toes in and the feet parallel to the edges of the mat as you fold down towards the ground. Again, reaching the hands through towards the back of where you are, taking this forward fold. Slight bend in the knees as you roll up vertebra by vertebra. Turn the feet, step towards the front of your mat, Tadasana. Okay, and then we're going to make our way onto our backs, and we're going to need the strap if we have one. So coming onto your back, both knees bent, and we're going to take the strap if we've got the strap, or a towel. If not, you're going to take your hands behind the thigh. If you've got the strap or a belt, placing it onto the ball of the foot, slight bend in the knees. Now you can hold this anywhere that is comfortable to allow you to get a straight leg in a moment. We're going to work the legs straight, so we're going to start to straighten that right leg, pushing the heel away towards the ceiling. Yeah. And then from there, if you're comfortable there, we're going to start to lengthen through the left leg. Okay, try and keep the shoulders down towards the ground and back, so you may need to release some of that strap so you can bring the hands a bit further down. And what we're going to do is we're going to push into, we're going to create a kind of like an opposing tension here. So we're going to pull, 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 and then we're going to just release. Okay. And then we're going to pull, 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 pull. So foot comes towards the head, and then we're just going to release. Okay. One more time as we pull, 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 and then release. Okay. So you're going to see it moving slightly there. Keep both hips on the ground. Now the alternative is we're going to push our ball of our foot into the back of the strap. We're going to push the ball of the foot into the strap, so we're creating like a pushing motion, like we're trying to push our leg down, and then we're going to release that and allow ourselves to pull a little bit closer towards the forehead. Okay, so we're going to try and push our foot away and down towards the ground for 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then release and pull towards us. Good. And then we're going to just bend the knee and release the strap. Bend both knees, taking it the other side as we take the strap to the ball of the foot, keeping that right knee bent, the left knee bent. Start to straighten that left leg. Again, holding onto the strap wherever it's comfortable for you here. And as you pull, you may feel something in your outer thigh, you may feel something in your hamstrings. Okay. Again, keep the shoulders relaxed and down, and then you can start to lengthen through the right leg. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull the strap, so we're pulling the foot towards us. Pull, 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 and then we're going to release, okay? So the foot comes back a little bit. We're going to pull towards us, and we're going to release. One more time as we pull, and we're going to release, okay? So the next one is we're going to push, okay? And then we're going to release by pulling towards us, okay? So we're pushing, and then release as we pull towards us. Okay, so push, release as you pull towards you. One more time, push, and release and hold as you pull the foot towards the forehead. Okay, and then so bend the left knee, and then bend the right knee. You can remove the strap if you want, and then hug the knees in towards the chest here before taking happy baby. So grabbing the outside edges of each foot, and knees come down towards the ground, thighs parallel with the floor, shins are perpendicular with the floor, and you pull the knees or the feet towards the ground as you open up the hips a little bit, and breathe in and exhale with a sigh as you pull towards you. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale and sigh. One more time. Inhale and sigh. And then slowly releasing into your Shavasana, your corpse pose. Just extend the legs out towards the corners of the mat. Allow the toes to flop open. If you want to take any final niggles or twists, maybe twisting from side to side, releasing the lower back a little bit, you can do that. Anything you want as a final stretch before coming into that Shavasana pose for just a few seconds here. Releasing the hands near the hips, a few inches away, palms facing up, breath soft. Remembering if any thoughts come into your head, just allow them to pass through the screen of your mind, just like clouds passing over the sunroof of a car. They come in, they go out. Okay. We're not going to have an empty mind, but let's just have a mind that is able to allow in and out these thoughts effortlessly. So just start with the fingers and the toes. Stretching your arms up over your head to the floor behind you. Stretching from your fingertips to your toes. Stretch the left side of your body out. Stretch the right side of your body out. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Keep your eyes closed, your tension inwards, but give yourself a nice gentle hug here. Keeping the lower back on the ground. Telling yourself something nice about yourself, even if it's your continuing with your yoga practice at home. And then with your eyes closed and your attention inwards, just roll over to your left or your right, whichever you want, into the fetal position. Maybe creating a little pillow with your hands. And eyes closed, coming up to sitting on your mat or in any comfortable position that works for you. Take a moment here to give yourself a little bit of gratitude for giving yourself a little bit of time to develop your mind and your body. Bring your hands into prayer position in front of the heart center. Raising that prayer towards your third eye, your forehead. We ask that we have the wisdom to watch our thoughts. Lowering our prayer towards our mouth or our throat chakra, we ask that we have the restraint to watch our words, especially when dealing with other people, but also to be compassionate and mindful of our own internal dialogue. And then finally, lowering our hands towards our heart center, we ask that we have the strength and courage to do whatever is right and necessary, even when it's not the most preferred or desired path. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing along with me today. Hopefully that's given your hamstrings a little bit of a stretch and is going to work for you for the rest of the day. Please do connect with me on social media, The Thought Gym on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, although most active on Instagram and YouTube. Lots and lots of videos on YouTube on mindset, resilience, health, well-being, personal development, success principles, and of course yoga. And come along to thethoughtgym.com and I'll see you inside there where there's lots of treats to help you optimize your health, your vitality and your energy levels. So until I see you on the mat or in one of those places, I wish you a pleasant day and namaste.